was feeling the energy. I'm like, no, I'm good. He like, oh, I just, wanted to see if you wanted somebody to come over here and eat with you. I'm like, no. I'm like, go over there with Marky. You know what I'm saying? Like, go over there with Marky. You was with Marky. Like, So he like, hey, but I just want to let you know I got something to tell you. I'm like, what? Tell me now. He like, no, I'm gonna tell you later. I'm like, no, just tell me now. He like, no, I'm gonna tell you later. So he take his tray, and he goes over there with Marky and Roosevelt and them. So I'm sitting there, boom. Lunch is over. I go to my locker, grab my stuff. Now I'm having good periods. I get up to fourth period, right? So I'm kind of like early with it. I go pick me a seat, and the teacher, he just like, I hope everyone's ready for the test today. So somebody say, man, we had tests every other day. He said, well, if you don't like the class, you can leave. That's the door. You want to go before my class start? You can leave. So the boy like, he like, no. He like, I'm just saying we always have tests. Okay, so how about you, matter of fact, come up here. Right, so everybody's still coming into the class. So here come Roosevelt. Now I hear the teacher talking to the other guy, but my eyes and my everything is looking at Chuck and Roosevelt coming into the class. So I'm looking, just trying to get his eye contact, right? So he kind of like glanced at me, like one of those glances, like, and just like if he didn't see me. So I'm like, hey, tell him to tap Roosevelt. So the girl like, hey, tap him. So the boy tapped Roosevelt, and I'm like, hey, he like, and he turned his head, and I'm like, bet, that's like, all right, that's what so like, it was kind of like the underlay for the overlay, but it's like, you treated me, but at least I know I got you. Wait to class in. You want to act phony? Cause you kicking it with my brother, and you ain't my friend now, but you was my friend first. How crazy is that? You was my friend first. So I kind of felt some type of way. I did. I'm not going to lie. We get in the midst of the class, right? In the midst of the assignment. So the teacher, he stands up from his chair. He like, all right, guys. He like, get ready to pass up your test. He like, now, since I was interrupted earlier before class started, we're going to have you come up here. And so the boy come up here. He like, tell the class your name. He like, they all know my name. I'm like, in my mind, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't know his name. So he like, just for the people that don't know, what is your name? He like, Ralph. He like, okay, so Ralph, you're going to give the closing end of the assignment for the class. So he like, but I don't know that. He like, how you don't know? No. Talk about the test, ask questions, and get a recap. So Ralph, he was just like, well, I don't know how to give a recap. What did the question say? You did do your test, right? He like, yeah. He like, but that don't mean I know. He like, who are you shaking your head at and moving your hands at? He like, are you being disrespectful? He like, I'm not being disrespectful. He like, get out of my class. You are being disrespectful. And you know what? Since you don't know how to explain to your class, since you act like you want to teach my class, you're going to get a nap. Tell your mother that. Now get out of my class. Get out and go to the office. Go in the hallway. I don't care where you go, but get out of my class. So I'm looking like, this man. Like, you just don't know what you gonna get with him. You do not know what you gonna get with this man. So, boom, I'm like, at this point, I'm like, oh my God. So he put up this projector, right? And it was hitting off the board. And he was telling everybody, like, to come up there if they knew the answer. And we take the marker and we write on the projector exactly the answer. It's like, it had this sheet on the projector. So he called me, and I'm like, I didn't raise my hand. He like, this is not who want to participate. This is who I'm calling on to come up here. I said, what's wrong with you? He like, nothing. What's wrong with you? And so I say, nothing. I'm like, you just yelling at me. He like, this is my classroom. I can talk and teach the way I like. I'm like, all right. He like, now come on. And he had the marker out, right? Because on the projector, you have to write with a marker. So I checked the marker. I wrote the answer down. So I say, did I get it correct? He like, did I say you did not get it correct? Did you get it incorrect? I'm like, no, you didn't say that. He like, so that mean that you got it correct. So I was like, oh, okay. First and foremost, to talk to me like that and give me that eye contact was crazy. I was like, I am changing this class. I'm going to tell my mama. That's what my man was like. I'm changing this class, and I'm telling my mama the reason why. Because when you want to change a class, you got to let your parents know. Then you go to the office, and then you tell them the reason why and why you want to change the class. So he going to be in a whole pool of hot water, right? Scalding 2-degree hot water. Because I don't like the way he talked to me. He talked too aggressive. So, boom. You know what I'm saying? I go back to my seat. Everybody goes up. They kind of answer. The bell rings. He like, guys, be ready for your grades tomorrow. Make sure you at my class on time. If you're not, I will shut my door and lock it, and you have to get a pass. So, boom, everybody gets ready. We all dips out. So, I'm like, hey, Roosevelt. He like, what? I'm like, what's wrong with you? So, Chuck like, hey, just chill. Just chill. I'm like, no, it's not about chill. I'm like, so you know my friend no more? I'm like, say it. You know my friend no more? You my brother friend. Say it. So, Roosevelt like, man, you dimed us and hung with somebody. When I said, could you come and hang with us that Saturday? You lied to me and said you was going to be with your mom. Whole time, you was with my friend Charles. I'm like, all right, I lied. I'm sorry. I'm like, I just didn't know what to say. Like, he like, and then she goes to your house and you don't even invite us. So he's saying like how the way we didn't invite him, and like she was there and it seemed like I had a problem. I was acting different. I was basically being family. So I'm like, it's not even like that. So as I'm talking to him, Charzetta comes up like, guess who? I'm like, man, I know that's sent from anywhere, Charzetta. And so Roosevelt like, yeah, I'm gonna let y'all do your thing. He like, hey, Charzetta, and he walked away. She like, what's going on? What y'all was talking about? I'm like, come with me. So Lamont, boom, he hits me. So I'm like, when he hit me, I'm like, yo, like what's going on? So I'm like, hey, don't he like, you finna get beat up out the school? I'm like, in my mind, like, I got practice later, so I'm not finna get beat up on nothing. But in my mind, I'm like, I wanted to attack him. And Charles like, don't let him make you mad. And if he do it again, just go to the principal office. So she was like, what y'all was over there talking about, you and Roosevelt? I'm like, nothing. He just mad. And I'm like, now everybody trying to punk me. I'm like, once again, Mark wins again. I'm like, them was my friend. She like, hey, stop. And so I felt the energy. She grabbed my arms and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stop. And I'm like, I got class with Mark already. I'm like, so wish me luck. She like, you're gonna be fine. I'm like, yeah. So she grabbed the lip gloss and she was putting a lip gloss on her lips. And I'm like, I should grab her close and give her a kiss. Like, that's what, like, look, y'all, I'm not gonna hold you. Like, I don't care if you take it away. Like, if you got my attention like that, I'm on that. But something in my soul is like, don't do it. So I'm like, but I wanted to kiss her so bad. So I end up walking her to her class. I get to 5th period. Marky is sitting there. So I get instead of the seat that I was sitting there, where it was like I could kind of look like kind of like this way towards Marky, I got all the way in the back. I'm all the way in the back. I could see everybody. He had to turn around and look at me. So I got all the way in the back. We still got the substitute teacher, right? Still got the substitute teacher. So he's talking and teaching and he's like asking questions. He ain't even really giving us assignments. Certain people got their book propped up or on their phone. Like, nobody's really paying attention to the guy. So I see somebody over there licking. It was a big lollipop. And I see somebody like licking it. So I'm like, oh, I remember those. So I'm like, psst, psst. So she like, I'm like, let me get one. She like, y'all always big and you don't even know me. I'm like, let me get one. So he's still teaching. So she like, these the only ones I got. So she had a pink one, a blue one, and a red one. And you know me, if you know, I love red. I love red. So I'm like, give me the red one. So she like 15 cents. I'm like, what? She like 15 cents. I'm like, 15. I got a quarter. She like, I'll take it. So I passed the quarter down. They gave her the quarter. They passed the sucker to me. I wrapped it up in the paper. So I'm listening to the teacher. He turned around. He writing on the board. So I'm, he like, what's that noise? And I'm like, so everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, not me, not me. So I'm trying to, because the sucker was big. It was hard. So I was just going to just like take a piece and suck on it. So I wrapped it up in like writing paper, right? I unraveled it, wrapped the sucker in paper, and then start clicking it on the ground. So he turned around. So I, pop, pop. So now it's cracking. He like, what is that noise? And so Marky like, check back there. So I'm like, he gonna make me, boy, he finna make me knock him up about this seat for real. So he like, whatever you guys are doing back there, please. He like, matter of fact, the people that's in the back, come to the front. Now, it was some more seats that was like available in the front. So everybody that was in that back row, which was including me and some other people, we had to go towards the front way. So Marky like, I'm like, hater. He like, yep, I'm a hater. Sure is. Yeah, sure is. Snitch. And so the teacher turned around like, hey, no name calling. So boom, we get through the 5th period. As I get ready to come out, I said, hey, Marky, you should. He just walked off while I'm talking. I'm like, you should. And as I'm talking, he walking off. So I'm walking behind him. I'm like, Marky, so I grab him. He like, don't touch me. I'm like, all right, cool. I won't touch you. So Marky, boom, he walks off. He's gone. So I'm getting ready. So I get in 7th period, right? I'm in 7th period. I got to use the bathroom. So I raise my hand. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I got to use it real bad, which I really did. So I got to pass. Boom, I leave out. I go to the bathroom. I utilize the bathroom. So I'm like, man, I should get me a snack. So as I'm getting me a snack, I'm putting my quarters to get some chips. I see Marky coming up out the other door, like the side doorway, but with Augie. So when I look, it was like one of those looks when you gotta like double take. It was like almost, it was meant for me to see it. That's what that was. It was meant for me to see it. So I put the quarters in and I'm like, all right. So I get my stuff and I look and I couldn't believe my eyes. I grabbed my stuff and I'm Marky. So he like, man, he like, why you always calling my name? He like, you supposed to be in class. I'm like, no, get in class now. So I grabbed him. He like, don't touch me. I grabbed him. He like, don't. I'm like, let's go now. So the security guard comes and say, hey, what's wrong? I'm like, my mom said he shouldn't be around him. I'm like, Augie, get lost. He like, you can't tell me what to do. He like, I ain't got to go nowhere. So the security guard like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? Now, this was an older security guard, right? He normally be on the other floor. So he's like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? I'm like, nothing. I'm like, my brother should be in class. He like, hey, okay, I get it. He like, y'all got a hall pass? I'm like, I got one. So Marky like, I got one, but Augie didn't have one. So Augie was like, oh, I was finna get ready to go. So I'm like, so why? So why? He like, get out of my business. Don't ask me. So the security guard told me and my brother Mark to go to our class because we had a hall pass. He took Augie, right? So as we walking, Marky like, man, stand on my bed. I'm like, don't touch me again. I promise you, Mark, I will bring your head to the lock. He like, do it. Come on, do it. I'm like, you want to try me? Because I will. He like, yeah, because you a sucker. You scary. I'm like, I ain't scared of nothing. So I pushed him. I go to my class right now. I'm heated. Get the 8th period good. Boom. Excuse is over with. So everybody in the hallway, everybody loud. So Lamont like, hey, y'all, it's gonna be a fight. It's about to be a fight. Whole time I'm like, what fight? So Lamont like, you better leave your book bag in the locker. I'm like, I ain't gotta leave. What? I ain't gotta leave my book bag in the locker. I mean, you got me bent. I'm not sweetheart. I'm not leaving my book bag in the locker. So he like, yeah. He like, she waiting on you. I'm like, okay, let her wait. So Charzetta, she like, hey, you ready? I'm like, yeah. So Lamont, he just talking and egging it on and irritating me. So he see I'm walking. He like, oh, you finna go through another door. You about to go through another door. I'm like, I got basketball practice. Straight like that. Why did I say that? Why did I tell him that as a teenager? You don't think, you just like, you ain't punking me. Like, I will go out there if I needed to. So, boom, I get to basketball practice. Everybody gets suited up. Now, I'm back then that Charzetta is out there. A couple of other people, some of her friends, the Chili's, they all sitting out there. And so, I'm like, getting ready. Where we get dressed at. And Gregory Boo, he sees me as I'm dressed or whatever. He like, hey, he like, welcome to the team. I'm like, yeah, appreciate that. So we come out. So we was working on, certain people was working on defense and other people was working on offense, right? So boom, I'm coming down with the ball. So boom, I pass it, I hurry up, I break, I grab the ball. Now Gregory Boo somehow swapped with the guy that was sticking D. Like, he was sticking me. He was doing defense. So somehow in the midst, they merged and swapped over. First off, when I was bagging it up, trying to get to the hole, like I'm posting them up, he was like, I don't know if he was free balling or what, but I could feel it. He was up on me, like sticking D. Like, I mean, Anthony, he was up on me. Like, when he was sticking D, like, it was like if he was pocketing me, like he was like doing this. But at the same token, he had his like whole thing on my posterior. So I'm like, hey. He like, what? He like, what you gonna do with you? I'm like, watch out. So now I'm using my hand. So now I'm just looking forward. So I'm right passing it off. I don't even want to shoot. Right? So boom, I'm just like, hey, I tell him when we get in the huddle, like, don't pass it to me in case I'm already posted. Because now Gregory Boo is trying to stick D on me. Literally D. So, boom, I get in the corner. Fuck up. Now all I'm doing is posting up. They passing to me. I don't want to stick no D. Boom. We end up having a good session. So, the coach letting us know exactly when is the game. So, I'm like, okay. Like, I'm ready. Like, legit, I'm ready. All right, I'm ready. Friday, we gonna go in, we go execute, right? We're gonna execute. So I'm looking, I'm like, man, this dude is really on my heels. So boom, I'm like, I'm gonna keep on my basketball stuff. I didn't even care. I know I'm not gonna shower. I shower at home. All at home. So I'm grabbing my stuff. So Gregory Boo like, oh, you're not gonna shower? I'm like, oh, no, I gotta get home. He like, you got a burn on your wrist. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, thanks. He like, hey, call me. I'm like, yeah, for real, I'm gonna call you. He like, all right. He like, see you. I'm like, yeah, see you. All right. So boom, I grab my book bag. Boom, Charzetta right there. So she like, can I come to your house or you gonna come to my house? Because that was the plan. So I'm like, yeah, you can come to my house if you want. She like, no, I want to cook for you. Come on. So I'm like, hey, I got to stop in my locker. So I stopped in my locker. I grabbed a couple of more of my books. So she like, you coming to my house. I'm like, okay, I'm coming to your house. I'm like, you better make some good food. She like, I told you it's a surprise. I got you. I'm like, okay. So boom, we go out the front door. Once we come out the front door, all I feel is water on me. Somebody poured a bucket of water. Like, when I look, I see that it's Dorothy and this dude and this little stud looking chick. But the dude is the one that threw the water on me and I was drenched. Charzetta was like, oh,